It's been 13 years since the release of Jade Empire, and it's a good time to find out how well does this game hold up in 2018. The story takes place in the Far Eastern Kingdom known as the Jade Empire. This game took me roughly 30 hours to complete, however this was when I was reading out every bit of lore and text available in the game. Typically, the average gamer will spend between 20 to 25 hours to complete. Found the overall plot is fairly standard for a grand adventure. It's you, the underdog, versus a massive enemy. You meet a wide variety of characters and have companions join you in your party. There's not as many areas as I hoped, as I felt they were a bit small, but there are varied enough environments in each chapter of the game where you can go to things like a rundown town by a dam, a city, forest. The story felt a bit rushed towards the end. Lore and character backstory was dumped onto the player towards the last few hours of the game. I don't know how else this could have told the story since it went along with any sudden plot twists, but personally I find it annoying to have all the important details dumped onto me at once. So it's an action RPG that uses various martial styles, weapons, magic, support styles, and demon forms. Martial styles are anything that you like kung fu or anything like that, and depending on which martial style you use, will change the speed of your attacks and the damage. Next are weapon styles, which include things like a long sword, dual weapons, a staff, or even a gun. And this uses your focus bar, which I'll get into later. Support styles can initiate a mechanic called harmonic combos, and you use a support style to initiate a combo and a martial style to finish it. And it has different effects depending on which two styles you use. Magic styles are what you'd expect, your spells, and they are meant to complement using with other styles. This you can also use to initiate harmonic combos. Demon forms, or transformation styles, have you transform into different demons or spirits. So things like a horse, toad, golem, or a spirit to name some. This can feel basic and repetitive after a while for combat. You can mix up attacks and change to different styles whenever you want. You could decide to use one style, but I felt you could really limit yourself if you do that. For example, you can freeze an enemy, switch to a weapon or martial style to hit before they break free, then switch to a stunning style to continue the attack. There is no penalty for not doing this, and is actually encouraged, since each style can give a different benefit and make you have a completely unique playstyle for the player. Some exclusive content like new weapons and quests in the PC version as compared to the console version, as there was a special edition released later. You can block and break blocks with the heavy attack. Overall, I found the combat not too much depth, but still enjoyable. It is an interesting combat system that I can appreciate for its time. It could have been more interesting by maybe having a combo or hit counter. You can level up and put 3 stat points into body, mind, or spirit. Body is your stat to increase how many hit points you have. Mind increases your focus bar, which is used to slow down time and for weapon styles. Spirit is used to increase your chi bar, which is used for magic and support styles and personal healing. By leveling up any combination of these stat points, you increase your conversation skills, which is a combination of 2 stats like body and mind for charm, and there are 3, which is charm, intimidation, and intuition. This does impact whether you can see some dialogue options, but for the overall main story, You don't need to focus on this. It's only if you want to find out as much lore and backstory for characters or about the world. You get skill points for styles, which can increase damage, chi damage, duration, speed, and chi or focus cost reduction. You can find techniques which will improve or reduce character attributes and conversation skills, depending on which ones you find. Generally, you find these through the end of quests, or maybe hidden areas, or perhaps finding a set of scrolls or lore in the world. You can also slot gems into your character, which it improves different things like conversation skills, attributes, improve experience against specific enemies, or even give you a shield that damages on enemies hitting you. There are some alignment specific gems, so depending on if you're good or bad, this will change which gems you can equip. There is a morality system, which is the open palm, the good side, and the closed fist, which is the evil side. It's about what you'd expect from a BioWare RPG with a morality mechanic, and it's the same as Knights of the Old Republic or Mass Effect. However, I felt this was more basic in some ways compared to those games. Characters do comment on your alignment, and it will change the ending. This does offer some replayability with New Game Plus, but this is only found in the PC version. In New Game Plus, you can have a higher difficulty and can import saved characters, so you will keep all your levels and skills. There is one minigame that stood out to me, and it was a shoot 'em up or a shmup. You can upgrade your ship with new abilities and improve your basic attack in them only for that mission. There is an option to attack or evade, so I do not believe you have to do this all the time, but at certain parts in the story, you will have to go in your ship and do this minigame. You have followers or party members, and you can only bring one with you. You can either choose to set them to attack mode or support mode. Attack is them fighting alongside you, and support has them giving you a buff that does different effects depending on who you bring. This could enhance your damage for certain styles, give passive HP or chi regen, or even give you a new style. For the visuals, I unmodded and only changed the game settings for resolution and frame cap to 60 FPS. It still holds up decently, the graphics aged okay. I found the character models do the job, and it definitely looks like a game in the mid-2000s. There are graphic mods to bump up the visuals, but I wanted to see if the game was playable in its unaltered state. So how is the content? There's side quests in each zone, and there are some entertaining and funny stories found in each area. Party members' stories are available if you talk to them enough, and are encouraged. No final quests for party members for things like loyalty or backstory, though. Not too much enemy variety. Typically you'll be fighting demons, spirits, and human enemies. There are hidden quests that are purely optional, but they do have an emotional payoff in my opinion. What does this say about the story and the game? It's a fun, if not standard, RPG story. It felt uneven at parts in the plot. Characters are not as fleshed out as compared to Knights of the Old Republic or Mass Effect in my opinion. I wish they put more time and effort into the character. The game mechanics and overall setting is unique. It is an Asian themed martial arts action RPG, which I can't think of another game that does that combination. It still holds up well enough to warrant a playthrough. It's, in my opinion, not the best BioWare RPG, but it's still pretty good. If you haven't played this game yet, give it a shot, as there's no other game like this.